5 World of Warcraft expansions, 5.2 patches. It's time to put them in order of worst to best.
Number 5!
Oh dear, the Burning Crusade might have been my favourite expansion, but even I can't convince myself not to put this in bottom spot. When patch 2.2 came out, it had literally one feature, and that was to add voice chat to the game. There's nothing really else I can say. No content, no nothing, just voice chat. That thing that we use all the time. Never. Let's move on.
Number 4!
Blizzard touted patch 6.2 as one of the biggest patches they'd ever created for the World of Warcraft. There was one massive problem though. The vast majority of content for this patch was simply lifted from other ones. The shipyard was a reskin of the command table. The dungeons that they put in were taken straight from Wrath of the Lich King Burning Crusade, as well as the existing dungeons which already were in Warlords of Draenor. They added 7 more Apex's crystal areas to go on top of the 12 that already existed, which people hated, and they were put into Tanan Jungle, a zone which should have been with us in 6.0, never mind 6.2. So in fact, the only original piece of content which went into this patch was the Hellfire Citadel raid, and that wouldn't have been too bad if the content surrounding it was rather good. But it wasn't. It really wasn't. And Blizzard are going to have to do a little bit more than Legion hype, I think, to stop figures dropping further in Q3 of this year. And that is why 6.2 is right down in number 4.
Number 3!
Patch 3.2 beats patch 6.2 by virtue of the fact that it is actually full of original content and not reusing other assets. They brought a new battleground to the World of Warcraft, the Isle of Conquest, a huge area which didn't just have PvP player action, but also had siege vehicle and also some aerial action going on as well. How popular that was though, it's probably on your avoid list if you're queuing for Battlegrounds. It also brought the Call of the Crusade, which had a raid and a dungeon alongside of it. What a novel concept nowadays. As well as the Argent Tournament, bringing with it new dailies and new areas in the map for you to go off and do as well. It also brought in tradable soulbound items for the very first time in the World of Warcraft. And I think that was really brought in to stop people from making tickets when they were nicking stuff that they shouldn't have. But hell, it stayed in the game right until now, and it's been rather useful. So that's why it's middle of the road, number 3.
Number 2!
Sneaking into the number 2 spot by the skin of its teeth is patch 4.2. Now, although there wasn't a huge amount of content here, the caliber of it was absolutely second to none. The Firelands raid is still revered today, and that raggy heroic fight back in those days was something indeed to behold. On top of that, we also had the Molten Front, an area that you could develop over a period of time, and when you eventually completed it, there was a very sexy mount reward waiting for you. On top of that, we had the finale to the legendary staff questline, which not only pushed your stats into the stratosphere, but also turned you into a very sexy blue dragon indeed. And guess what? The dungeon journal came in at 4.2. It doesn't matter if Blizzard rehash it, call it the Adventurer's Guide and stick it into 6.2. 4.2 is when it came in, which brought us stats, abilities, loot, and everything that we needed from raids and bosses, and that's why it makes its way to the second spot.
Number 1!
Mists of Pandaria was not a great expansion, and the subscription numbers showed that, as well as the mood of the community at the time. However, it is looked back a little bit more fondly simply due to the fact that Warlords of Draenor is so bad. The good thing is though, patch 5.2 was exceptional and really did stem the flow of subscription losses on this expansion, and the reason why is it had something for absolutely everybody in it. We had the Isle of Thunder, which had a very good balance of daily quests. You also had to work with the opposing faction to unlock segments of the Throne of Thunder raid, another well received raid in the WoW community. We also had the Isle of Giants, an area that was really set upon for people that enjoyed grinding. You could kill stuff, get yourself some sort of currency, hand them in for mounts, pets. Hunters could go there and get themselves little extras as well. We also had the Trows of the Thunder King scenario, possibly one of the most fun things which was ever brought into the World of Warcraft to do for everybody. And then warlocks like myself had the unbelievable Green Fire questline, with possibly the hardest boss that the World of Warcraft has ever put into the game, and it was a single player fight. On top of that, we also had the Zandalari Warbringers and Scouts scattered around mainland Pandaria. Yes, it didn't matter what you were into, there was something for everybody. And Blizzard really need to look back at this 5.2 model for future expansions, because it was, without doubt, the best 0.2 patch there has ever been in the World of Warcraft. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Those links are in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.